To find out what I'm talking about, let's take a look at one more place that you can write code. You can write code in the command line. So you're going to open up your terminal. I use iTerm, but the terminal program is already installed on your computer, so you can use that too. Just press Command Space and type in terminal. When you open up the terminal, you can just type in Swift. If this is your first time running that command, Apple may ask you to install some stuff. Do whatever it says. If you can get that Swift program running, you'll see a little command prompt where you can type. And it'll say, welcome to Swift version 2.1, yada, yada, yada. You can think of this as the same thing as the playground, but it'll have a little more information for you. Plus it looks all kind of hackerish and way more impressive and cool. Let's type in our first example. So we're going to write, hi there. When you run that, you'll notice that Swift cannot use single quotes. So if you try and use single quotes, it won't work. You must use double quotes. When you type that, you'll get back something like $R1 or R0, string equals hi. That's a little bit confusing. So you can see that each command that you write in the command line gets stored for later. So ignore that R1 part. When you're learning new things, it's often helpful to digest only the parts that you can understand. The most important part is that word string. This command didn't output anything at all. All that happened was Swift came back and said, okay, that's a string. So what is a string? A string is just anything that you can put in quotes. It is, for your intents and purposes, a word. A string can also contain numbers too, but just hold that thought for a second. How can we get this program to output something? Remember we said that this string is something? We want it to do something. Let's do something. Let's print hi. When you type that, you'll get back a string. That command actually output code. We haven't talked about those parentheses yet, but you can guess that the word print is some sort of command. Print is a command to print to the console. Think for a minute about something. It's one of the most basic concepts in programming that some things are and some things do. Let's say that a different way. Some things are nouns and some things are verbs. Some things are nouns, they are, they exist. And some things are verbs, they are doers. Things that are verbs, that are doers, they always have those parentheses. Those parentheses are like saying, do it. So you can always tell something that is doing something versus something that just is, that's just information. One last thought before we end this video. Think of that something that does something. A car goes, a person runs. Those things do not exist without their results. A car goes and it produces some sort of emission. A person runs and they leave behind a footprint. In this very same way, those that do, they leave behind something. More on that shortly.